So MARPOL Annex VI came up because we had a lot of pollution in the air, and that emission gases from ships are oxides of nitrogen or NOx, and these are basically depleting your ozone. Sulphur oxides are SOx, and these are creating acid rain. So when your rain falls in the first time, these sulphur oxides they form H2SO4, H2SO3, and when they fall on your plants or animals or humans or the buildings, they'll create acidification. Then your carbon dioxide is GHG is your greenhouse gases, which is causing increased levels of your C. Carbon monoxide is poisonous. It's not poisonous, it is suffocating. It's colorless, odorless, and suffocating. Hydrocarbons in your gas. So hydrocarbons are in the gas, soot, and particulate matter, PM. That is particulate matter. So concentration of your different exhaust gases will depend on what kind of engine you have, what kind of setting you have, what is your fuel type, how much is your sulfur content in fuel. So Annex VI basically came up because US Environmental Protection Agency and European Union found that sulfur dioxide is the biggest source from the ship, and that is creating acidification, and that was the aims to reduce this through international regulations. So MARPOL Annex VI entered into force 19th May 2005. It is applicable to all ships of 400 gross tonnage and above, and to offshore vessels built on or after 19th May 2005. So the ships built before 2005, they have to have the first scheduled dry docking after 19th May 2005. Then they have to be compliant with Annex 6 or by 19th May 2008. And they will all have International Air Pollution Prevention Certificate or IAPP certificate. So continuous feeding in this annex means your waste is fed for combustion chamber without human assistance, which is operating between 850 degrees to 1200 degrees in engine room. NOx technical code means technical code for control of emissions of nitrogen oxides from diesel engines. Ozone depleting substances are the substances which are depleting the ozone layer. So ozone layer is above in the stratosphere, and that is protecting the earth from ultraviolet rays of the sun. Otherwise, the UV rays will cause skin cancer, and they will have a lot of detrimental effect on humans, plants, and animals. Then you have sludge oil, which is sludge from fuel and lubricating oil separator, waste lubricating oil, waste oil from bilge water separators, oil filtering equipment, or drip trays. Shipboard incineration means incineration of waste or such matter on board a ship, and these wastes which are generated during normal operation of that ship. SOx emissions are basically emission control area, is the area where your special mandatory measures are there to reduce or prevent SOx emissions. Now your general exceptions, which all your MARPOLs are there, is the same exceptions where you can emit during safety of ship or saving life at sea. You can do emissions if it has result from damage. To any ship or the equipment. That is, suppose a ship is passing under a bridge, and the bridge is basically not a fixed one which is operating. It had happened one of the accidents when a bridge was passing below that. The operator of the bridge, instead of opening the bridge, he started lowering the bridge. So the vessel master and the pilot didn't realize, and the funnel and all was broken. Now, because of that, your damage of ship has happened, and emissions have resulted in the air. So that will be a general exception, provided that you have taken precautions to control that emission, and that emission is not caused by willful fault of the owner or intent of the owner. Then this is an exception. So MARPOL Annex 6 will cover: one is ODS, which is ozone depleting substance, nitrogen oxide emissions from diesel engines, sulfur oxide emissions from ships, volatile organic compounds. These are compounds you find in chemical tankers and tankers. Shipboard incineration, fuel oil quality. Now we'll come with the first is your ODS or ozone depleting substance. Here your new installations containing ODS are prohibited as per Montreal Protocol because they are depleting ozone layer. So the following ODS found on board are halon 1211. Earlier your firefighting system was consisting of ozone depleting substance halon. Now all this has been prohibited. So halon 1211, 1301, 2402 has been prohibited. CFC or chlorofluorocarbons, CFC 11, 12, 113, 114, and 15, all are prohibited. So deliberate emission of ozone depleting substance during operation, maintenance and repair is prohibited. Hydrofluorocarbons were permitted until 1st January 2020. Now that has also been prohibited. So for Annex 6, your certificate is International Air Pollution Prevention Certificate. So you'll have initial and renewal survey. And that is applicable for all ships 400 gross tonnage and above, which are engaged in voyages from port or offshore terminals. Also for your platforms and drilling rigs, engage in voyages to waters under sovereignty of this parties who have signed this protocol for Annex 6. So ships constructed before the date of entry into force, that was a protocol 1997, shall be issued with IAPP certificate not later than after entry into force of protocol 97, but finally 3 years after that, that is 2000, they have to have International Air Pollution Prevention Certificate. So this IAPP certificate will be issued or endorsed by flag states or any person or organization duly authorized by this, which is recognized organization. They can issue IAPP certificate. But even if they issue the IAPP certificate, the flag state will resume full responsibility. Now this is your IAPP certificate, your name, number, IMO number, port of registry, gross tonnage. This certifying that you are complying with Annex 6, and the validity of this is 5 years. So the validity is 5 years. Your surveys will be initial, before the survey, annual, which is every year, intermediate at 2.5 years, renewal at 5 years, or additional survey in case you have an accident and major repairs are there, or a change in the regulation, then you require major repairs. So a certificate that has to be endorsed on the certificate, and this certificate will cease if your above surveys which are marked in red are not completed in time, or if the certificate is not endorsed, or when you transfer the ship to another flag state, that is, you sold a ship to another flag state, then the IAPP certificate will be expiring. And a new certificate will then be issued when the government is fully satisfied with the requirements of MARPOL Annex 6. Now, if there is a transfer between parties, if requested within 3 months after transfer has taken place, government of party whose flag state was formerly entitled to fly will transmit to the new flag state the copies of certificate it carried before the transfer of the copies of relevant survey reports so that the new flag state can issue the IAPP certificate with their surveyors. Now, Regulation 10 means what kind of compliance will be done by Port State Control. So they can come on board to inspect. They can issue clear grounds if they believe that the master or crew do not know about Annex 6 or the procedures how to control it. And the ship will not sail unless they are all familiarized or they don't have a training done. So unless they have a training done, the ship will not be allowed to sail. Now for the NOx emissions from diesel engines. So this applies to your diesel engines which have got a power more than 130 kilowatt, which are installed on a ship before, on or after installed on or after 1st January 2000, or they are built on or after 1st January 2000, or if your existing engine has been replaced or added, then this will be applying. Or if there is a substantial modification or after 1st January 2000, or if the MCR, now I'll tell you what is MCR. There is a difference between MCR and NCR. So MCR is maximum continuous rating. So suppose there is a pirate skiff there, which is in sight, and the master wants to increase the speed of the ship. So he tells the engine, no, go on MCR. So the chief engineer is going to increase the RPM to maximum. So that is maximum continuous rating. Or suppose he wants to avoid a storm or avoid a collision, he might phone engine room and ask for MCR to increase your speed to avoid a collision. So in case of emergency, he can call for MCR or normally your NCR will work out. So normal continuous rating is basically a reduced RPM, not a reduced to dead slow head or slow head, but little less than maximum RPM, so that your fuel consumption is not high, because at MCR your fuel consumption will be very high. So normally the ships run at NCR, which is normal continuous rating. ये समझ आया कि नहीं? MCR NCR समझ आया कि नहीं आया?
सर नहीं आएगा,
समझ नहीं आया? अच्छा, चलो समझाते हैं, नोट से समझाते हैं. चलो, यहाँ से समझ नहीं आ रहा तो नोट से समझाते हैं. So maximum continuous rating is maximum power output engine can produce while running continuously at safe limit and condition. It is specified on engine nameplate and in technical file of marine diesel engine. So important engine parameters like specific fuel consumption, engine performance are derived using percentage MCR rating. तो नॉर्मल हम कितना MCR पे चला रहे हैं उसके बेसिस पे आता है. अब NCR क्या होता है वो बताते हैं. So यहाँ आया आपका MCR. So maximum output that can be produced by engine running continuously without causing failure to the propulsion machinery. It is assured that continuous power by engine manufacturers to ship owners according to contract agreed. तो एक्चुअली हम ये पावर यूज नहीं करते हैं क्योंकि इससे हमारा फ्यूल कंजम्पशन हाई हो जाता है. क्योंकि इतना आरपीएम सपोज अब कहा है कि 200 आरपीएम MCR है, तो इसका मतलब 200 आरपीएम एक्चुअल सर्टिफाइड है, इस पे चलाना है. लेकिन इसको सिर्फ यूज करते हैं इमरजेंसी में, लाइक एक्सट्रीम बैड वेदर हो गया, स्टॉर्म मारा है, पायरेट अटैक हो गया, कोलिजन बचाना है, तो हम MCR यूज करते हैं. अदरवाइज हम NCR यूज करते हैं जो 85 से 95% MCR का है, सो दैट हमारी एफिशिएंसी ठीक रहे, मेंटेनेंस कम रहे, इकोनॉमिक रहे, क्योंकि हमारा फ्यूल कंजम्पशन कम रहेगा. अब समझ आया? अभी भी समझ नहीं आया? भाई अगर आपकी कार में दिया हुआ टैकोमीटर में है कि आप 200 माइल पर आवर जा सकते हो, तो उतना थोड़ा चलाओगे. आप 50-55 पे चलाओगे, आपकी फ्यूल एफिशिएंसी ठीक रहेगी. कार को 70-80 पे चलाओगे तो आपका फ्यूल ज्यादा कंजम्पशन होगा. तो उसी तरह NCR में फ्यूल कंजम्पशन कम होगा ना.
नहीं सर, MCR इमरजेंसी टाइम में यूज किया जाएगा ना सर.
एक्चुअली MCR दिया होता है कि भाई हमारी रेटेड कैपेसिटी क्या है इंजन की, इतनी कैपेसिटी में इतने आरपीएम पे चलेगा, और हम उस पर चलाते नहीं है. क्यों नहीं चलाते? क्योंकि हमारी फ्यूल एफिशिएंसी कम हो जाएगी, माइलेज जो हमारी कंजम्पशन होगी ज़्यादा हो जाएगी, प्लस उसमें मेंटेनेंस ज़्यादा होगा, ब्रेक डाउन हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा MCR पे चलाओगे. तो उसको NCR पे चलाते हैं, नॉर्मल कंटिन्यूस रेटिंग. ठीक है, अब क्लियर है कि नहीं?
यस सर.
सो ये बेसिकली आपका कंट्रैक्चुअल आउटपुट. तो बाकी हम नहीं कराते, आइडियल फायरिंग स्पीड और ये सब आपको नहीं करना. जो ये देखो आया हुआ ना, MCR दिया हुआ है 73.9 आरपीएम, NCR दिया हुआ है इतना आउटपुट मिलेगा एट 71.3. तो हम इस पे चलाएंगे नॉर्मली. 2 आरपीएम बढ़ गया, हमारा आउटपुट बढ़ गया, लेकिन फ्यूल ज्यादा कंजम्पशन हुआ, तो हमने इमरजेंसी पे चलाया, वापस नॉर्मल पे आ गए. नॉर्मल पे हम इतने में चलाएंगे. ठीक है, ये सब ओरल में पूछते हैं, अभी आपको कोई नहीं पूछता, सब ओरल वाली बात है. रिटर्न में कोई नहीं पूछता MCR NCR क्या है, ये क्या है. तो अगर MCR को हमने 10% ज़्यादा बढ़ा दिया आफ्टर 1 जनवरी 2000, तो फिर हमें नॉक्स एमिशन को कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा एज पर NX 6. लेकिन इनमें किस इंजन पे नहीं अप्लाई करता? जो भी इमरजेंसी उस पर ये लगेगा नहीं. इमरजेंसी डीजल इंजन, इंजन इन लाइफ बोट, या इमरजेंसी इंजन फॉर योर इमरजेंसी लाइटिंग, वो इमरजेंसी के जो भी चीज़ के लिए यूज़ कर रहे हैं इंजन, NOx emission from diesel engine will not apply. Otherwise शिप के डीजल इंजन पे अप्लाई करेगा. अब हमारा जो सल्फर ऑक्साइड के जो एमिशन रिक्वायरमेंट है, SOx रिक्वायरमेंट्स, वो अब आ गए आपके यहाँ सामने. तो यहाँ बिफोर 1 जनवरी 2012 आपका फ्यूल सल्फर कंटेंट लिमिट था 4.5 वर्ल्ड वाइड. After 1 January 2012, it had reduced to 3.5% worldwide. और after 1 January 2020 इसको कम करके 0.5 हो गया. इसलिए हमारे बंकर फ्यूल में सल्फर कंटेंट भी कम हो गया. अब आपके एमिशन कंट्रोल एरियाज में, ये तो आउटसाइड एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया, ECA के बाहर है. ECA के अंदर में 4 एरिया हैं. बाल्टिक सी एरिया, ये तो बहुत कॉमन एरिया है, सब जगह है. PSSA में भी है, NX1 में भी है, फिर NX2 में भी है, NX4 में भी है और NX6 में भी है, ठीक है, और NX5 में भी है, सब जगह है। NX3 में नहीं है, NX2 में नहीं, सॉरी NX2 में नहीं है, NX2 में साउथ ऑफ एंटार्क्टिका है, तो साउथ ऑफ 60 डिग्री साउथ, तो NX2 में नहीं है, NX3 में नहीं है और बाकी में है। सो यहाँ बाल्टिक सी एरिया, नॉर्थ अमेरिकन एरिया, यूनाइटेड स्टेट कैरिबियन सी एरिया, नॉर्थ सी एरिया, ये सारे एमिशन कंट्रोल एरियाज हैं। Earlier it was 1.5%, that is before 2010 July. After 2010 July it was 1%, and after 1st January 2020 0.1% हो गया है सल्फर कंटेंट इन पॉल्यूशन इन एयर, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगा बाय द शिप। आउटसाइड ECA इट विल बी 0.5, जो आजकल लेटेस्ट है 0.5 आउटसाइड ECA, इनसाइड ECA 0.1%। तो ये क्या है, मोल पर मास है, M/M मीन्स मोल पर मास। तो ये 4.5 1.5 था ECA में, 3.5 1 था ECA में, 0.5 0.1 एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया में it is 0.1, outside emission control area nowadays is 0.5. Now what is ECA? इसको हम सल्फर एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया भी कह सकते हैं, सिका, या एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया ईका। यहाँ आपके एयरबोर्न एमिशंस को कंट्रोल करना है और इसमें एमिशंस कंट्रोल आ जाएंगे सॉक्स में, सॉक्स, नॉक्स, ODS, VOC। सिका में जहाँ सल्फर का एमिशन कंट्रोल है उसमें सिर्फ सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड एंड सल्फर ट्राइऑक्साइड को कंट्रोल करेंगे। इसमें आपके एमिशन कंट्रोल, फ्यूल क्वालिटी, सॉक्स, पर्टिकुलेट मैटर, आजकल नहीं आ रहा था जब पोल्यूशन हाई था कि PM 2.5 का लेवल ये हो गया, PM 10 का ये लेवल हो गया। पर्टिकुलेट मैटर का मतलब है जो सस्पेंडेड पार्टिकल्स है एयर में, जैसे अगर आपकी आग जलाई, धुआं निकला, तो धुएं में certain particles are not burned fully, so those will be suspended in air, so that is known as particulate matter. So NOx global requirement are more stringent in emission control area. इसमें 4 एरिया हैं, बाल्टिक सी, नॉर्थ सी एंड नॉर्थ अमेरिकन एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया। जहां नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया है उसको कहते हैं नीका, जहां सल्फर ऑक्साइड कंट्रोल एरिया है उसको कहते हैं सिका। अब ये वाले ECAs जो हैं ये आपको ओरल्स के तो याद करने हैं। अब जो लेटेस्ट आए हैं जनवरी 2020 में नॉक्स एरिया को इंक्लूड कर दिया है एंड बाल्टिक सी, पहले सॉक्स एरिया था, अब नॉक्स भी इंक्लूड कर दिया है इन एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया। नॉर्थ सी में पहले सॉक्स एरिया था, अब नॉक्स को भी इंक्लूड कर दिया जनवरी 21 में, बाकी सब पहले से थे। नॉर्थ अमेरिका में सॉक्स भी है, पर्टिकुलेट मैटर भी है, इनमें पर्टिकुलेट मैटर नहीं है। इसमें सॉक्स था एंड पर्टिकुलेट मैटर 2012 तक आ गया था, नॉक्स 2016 में आ गया। US कैरेबियन में सॉक्स एंड पर्टिकुलेट मैटर 2014 में आ गया, नॉक्स जो आ गया में आ गया। तो आपको ये डेट्स याद करनी पड़ती है फॉर ओरल्स, रिटन में ऐसा कुछ नहीं। ओरल्स में ये NX6 को ज़्यादा पूछते हैं। तो अगर आप देखो ये सारे एरियाज हैं जहाँ सिका लिमिट्स आ गया मार्पोल का, तो ये सारा कैलिफोर्निया, ये वाला हवाईन रीजन, ईस्ट कोस्ट आ गया, ये सारा आपका सिका लिमिट्स है 0.1 का, बाकी एरिया 0.5। सिमिलरली आपका बाल्टिक सी एंड बाकी यूरोपियन यूनियन सिका एरिया। लिखा है स्क्रबर्स जो होंगे, लोकल रिस्ट्रिक्शन, ओपन लूप स्क्रबर्स, तो ये सब आप ये सब पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं, आप सिर्फ ये वाला पढ़ना, कितना परसेंटेज सिका में 0.1, बाकी एरिया 0.5। तो उसी तरह यहाँ भी दिया हुआ है, न्यू नीका आ गया है 2021 में, बाल्टिक सी में आ गया है, पहले नहीं था। ये आपके रेगुलेशंस हैं। अब आता है वॉलेटाइल ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स, जो VOC है। टैंकर्स में अगर आपने देखा होगा येलो पाइपलाइन है, उसको क्या कहते हैं भाई? येलो सी पाइपलाइन है उसको क्या कहते हैं?
फोम लाइन।
फोम लाइन, पाइपलाइन की बात कर रहा हूँ जो मैनीफोल्ड पे रहती है, मैनीफोल्ड पे लगी होती है। वेपर एमिशन कंट्रोल, वेपर एमिशन कंट्रोल VEC की होती है। मैनीफोल्ड की बात कर रहा हूँ, डेक लाइन की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ। मैनीफोल्ड में जो कनेक्टेड है, टैंक से कनेक्टेड है, वो है वेपर एमिशन कंट्रोल लाइन, ठीक है। तो ये अब मैंडेटरी होगी इन टैंकर्स इन सर्टेन पोर्ट्स। सिमिलरली केमिकल टैंकर्स पे भी अब मैंडेटरी हो रही है। तो वॉलेटाइल ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स हैं जो जलेंगे जल्दी और वो पोल्यूशन भी ज़्यादा करेंगे। So ये lighter parts of crude oil है that vaporizes during ship loading operations. So that is dangerous to our health because cancer cause करते हैं. So oil tankers, ports and terminals are implementing VOC controls during loading and unloading of oil cargoes. वेपर एमिशन कंट्रोल का वीडियो फिर बाद में दिखाऊंगा, आधा घंटे का वीडियो है, मुझे याद दिलाना, बाद में दिखाऊंगा, ये सब पहले हो जाए। So tankers need to install vapor emission control approved by administration, be compliant with MSC. Ports and terminals with approved vapor emission control can accept tankers without VC for 3 years after effective date. Tankers need to develop vapor emission control management plan as per flag state, and they have to reduce your VOC during loading, sea passage, discharge, and as per VOC management plan, there should be a responsible person. Language should be English, Spanish, and all. Additional VOC should be during cargo washing. अब shipboard incineration जो है for sewage sludge, sewage oil generator, इसको normally हम power plant और boiler में रखते हैं. But within ports or estuaries or harbors, you cannot burn that. तो यहाँ दिया हुआ है रेगुलेशन, इसमें इन चीज़ों को नहीं जला सकते। मार्पोल एनेक्स 1 और 2 and 3 कार्गोज को नहीं जला सकते। पीसीबीज और पॉलीक्लोरिनेटेड बाइफेनाइल को नहीं जला सकते। गार्बेज कंटेनिंग हैवी मेटल को नहीं जला सकते। रिफाइंड पेट्रोलियम कंटेनिंग हैलोजेंस को नहीं जला सकते। एग्जॉस्ट गैस क्लीनिंग सिस्टम रेजिड्यूज को नहीं जला सकते। क्या जला सकते हैं? पीवीसी को जला सकते हैं, उसके लिए टाइप अप्रूवल चाहिए। सीवेज स्लज ऑयल परमिटेड इन बॉयलर को जला सकते हैं, बट अगर पोर्ट हार्बर और एस्टुअरीज में है, एस्टुअरी मीन्स रिवर का माउथ, तो आप नहीं जला सकते। और ड्रम में बाहर डेक पे नहीं जला सकते, कुछ आपको फर्नेस में ही जलाना है, ड्रम में नहीं जलाना। तो इसमें रेगुलेशन आ गया, कंबशन चैम्बर शुड रीच 600 डिग्री सेल्सियस विद इन 5 मिनट्स ऑफ स्टार्टअप, and they should have combustion gas flue outlet temperature monitoring system. All incinerators installed after 1st January 2000 will be type approved. और जो डोमेस्टिक शिपिंग में यूज कर रहे हैं बिफोर 2005 उसको एक्सक्लूड कर रहे हैं। एंड योर incinerators will require operating manual training for your engine room staff and temperature control. अब रेगुलेशन 17 of Annex 6 states that you are supposed to have reception facility, जिसमें सपोज रिपेयर पे जा रहे हैं तो ओजोन डिप्लीटिंग सब्सटेंस का रिसेप्शन करें so that that can be removed from ship. And needs of ship using its ports, terminal, repair ports for reception of exhaust gas cleaning residue from approved exhaust gas cleaning system when the discharge into marine environment is not permitted under regulation 14. जब आप नहीं डिस्चार्ज कर सकते तो शोर रिसेप्शन को देना पड़ेगा। तो सपोज शिप ब्रेकिंग यार्ड है, उसमें भी ओजोन डिप्लीटिंग सब्सटेंस का रिसेप्शन फैसिलिटी होना चाहिए। और अगर नहीं है तो उनको बताना पड़ेगा, उन कंट्रीज को, आईएमओ को बताना पड़ेगा इस कंट्री में ये फैसिलिटी नहीं है या इनएडिक्वेट है, शिप ओनर्स को अपना अरेंजमेंट करना पड़ेगा। अब आपका बंकर डिलीवरी नोट आजकल संभाल के रखना पड़ता है, बिकॉज फ्यूल ऑयल सैंपल को रखना पड़ता है जहाज पे 12 महीने के लिए। सो अप्रोप्रिएट अथॉरिटीज विल मेंटेन रजिस्टर ऑफ लोकल फ्यूल ऑयल सप्लायर्स। Details of fuel oil used on board shall be recorded in a bunker delivery note, जिसमें होगा IMO number, port, date of commencement of delivery, who has delivered, name of product, quantity, density, sulfur content, ये सब आपके bunker delivery note में आएगा। So declaration has to be signed by fuel supplier के जो फ्यूल ऑयल क्वालिटी है विल कंफर्म Annex 6 रिक्वायरमेंट्स, सल्फर कंटेंट रिक्वायरमेंट्स, क्योंकि आपको एयर में 0.5 से ऊपर नहीं करना है और एमिशन कंट्रोल एरिया में 0.1 से ऊपर नहीं करना, तो उसके हिसाब से सल्फर कंटेंट कंट्रोल्ड होगा। तो बंकर डिलीवरी नोट को 3 साल रखना है शिप पे, सैंपल को 12 महीने। सो फ्यूल ऑयल सैंपल जो है बंकर डिलीवरी नोट के साथ रखना है 12 महीने, बंकर डिलीवरी नोट को 3 साल और फ्यूल ऑयल सैंपल को 12 महीने। तो इसमें आपका सैंपल को चेक किया जाएगा कि आपका सैंपल करेक्ट है कि नहीं। सैंपल से पता करेंगे कि आपका एमिशन कितना है एक्चुअली, क्योंकि आपने लिख दिया कि नहीं हमारा तो कंट्रोल हो रहा है, लेकिन सैंपल में डीजल की सल्फर की मात्रा ज़्यादा है, तो दैट मीन्स आप झूठ बोल रहे हो। तो ये आपका बंकर डिलीवरी नोट है, ये बंकर बाद से लिया है, कब स्टार्ट हुआ, कब एंड हुआ, कितना क्वांटिटी, सल्फर कंटेंट, एवरेज विस्कोसिटी। अब इसमें सल्फर कंटेंट ज़्यादा है, तो ये पुराना वाला नोट है 2011 का, तो अब इसमें तो बड़ा कम होगा, क्योंकि आपको 0.5 करना है, तो 0.5 से ऊपर नहीं होना चाहिए। ये सारी चीज़ आपके बंकर डिलीवरी नोट में होगा। सो अब आपका क्या है, एक और एफिशिएंसी प्लान चाहिए होता है आजकल के नए जहाज पे, एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी डिज़ाइन इंडेक्स। न्यू शिप्स पे ये मैंडेटरी है, प्लस शिप एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी मैनेजमेंट प्लान SEEMP, ये रिक्वायरमेंट है ऑल शिप्स की। सो EEDI जो है एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी डिज़ाइन इंडेक्स, इससे आप एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी को मेंटेन करोगे सो दैट योर एयर पोल्यूशन इज रिड्यूस्ड, आपके इक्विपमेंट और इंजन बराबर रहेंगे। तो EEDI जो है उसमें मिनिमम एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी लेवल चाहिए होता है पर कैपेसिटी माइल फॉर डिफरेंट शिप टाइप्स, कैन बी कंटेनर्स, कैन बी टैंकर्स, कैन बी केमिकल टैंकर्स, हर एक के लिए अलग EEDI होगा एंड बेसिस द साइज एलिमेंट्स। So yesterday we were seeing on that ship energy efficiency management plan. So here you have EEOI, that is energy efficiency operational indicator. So your SEMP basically is operational measure so that you can improve the energy efficiency of the ship so that your costs are down. So the SEMP is a management plan for controlling your energy requirements and how to use the monitoring tool. That monitoring tool for controlling your energy is energy efficiency operational indicator, is EEOI. So that is used for checking what is your performance efficiency on ship. So basically that was for controlling your fuel efficiency, and because you're controlling fuel efficiency, your pollution levels will reduce. So your energy efficiency operational indicator will make your operators to measure the fuel efficiency on ship. All these are basically for reducing your fuel consumption and reduce pollution. So there you improve your voyage planning. That means you are employing those softwares to check where areas you have to, how you move about to avoid dangers like tsunami, hurricane and all. So there you can have your voyage planning done. You have voyage planning softwares, and also how to have better propeller cleaning, because if your propeller is clean, so your thrust will be more and your ship speed will be better. And then they are introducing better technical measures like waste heat recovery system. So whatever your furnaces and exhaust gases are there, they can be utilized for other operations. And if your propeller vibrations are too much, then you might require a new propeller. So they will be guiding you what you require for better improved fuel efficiency. So SEMP is for management plan for improving your energy efficiency. That will make your operators and ship owners to take up new technologies so that your energy efficiency is improved. So your EEDI is your design index. So when you're designing or shipbuilding a ship, your new ship is being built, so you have to take the design index for energy efficiency, verify it, do the construction of the ship, do the sea trial and operation. For SEMP, so your SEMP basically will be, the management plan will be verifying your EEDI or design index, planning improvement, energy efficiency operational indicator will be monitoring your SEMP. So this is the operational indicator for monitoring SEMP, and design index is the hardware used for the engines for improving efficiency. So both will be required for MARPOL Annex VI. So this is your EEDI, is your energy efficiency design index, will be performance of hardware, the ship. Energy efficiency operational indicator will be performance improvement of the ship for reducing your fuel or controlling your fuel efficiency. And everything will be as per your ship energy efficiency management plan. So here you will have a better speed control, weather routing, better maintenance, optimum trim and draft, so that your speed is better, fuel consumption is better. So you have a design, the plan, operation by EEOI, and monitoring, operation by SEMP, and monitoring by your EEOI is energy efficiency operational indicator. So what are your measures of SEMP on board is better hull monitoring and maintenance, your propulsion of ship maintenance, that is propeller cleaning and all, waste recovery methods, improving of waste recovery, optimize ship and cargo handling, energy management of the ship, records and feedback to the company, and better weather routing. So this will be your SEMP. And then you will have this certificate for EEDI. So when your ship is being built, there's a IMO number, call sign, and port of registry. And this is a design index certificate. So that is how much your carbon dioxide is being released on board. So energy, your ECA is emission control area. So we have various ECAs of SICA and NICA. And what is SOx emission norms हमने किया था, bunker delivery note, EEDI design index है और ये operational indicator है. इसके ऊपर इतना नहीं आएगा आपको, ये ज़्यादातर ओरल्स में पूछते हैं. नॉर्मली ये चीज़ें ज़्यादातर मास्टर्स को पूछते हैं, बट आप लोग भी पढ़ लो. तो अभी SEMP के ऊपर थोड़ा सा और आपको दिखा दें MARPOL Annex VI के ऊपर, and then we'll start with ballast water management.
Hello viewers, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing very well. In this video, I'll be talking about recent hot topic IMO 2020. Those who already know about this regulation, you guys can share this video to others and also let me know in the comment section below about your company policies and other experiences. Well, those of you who don't know or know a little bit, this video is absolutely for you. So without any further delay, let's get started. Before we start the main video, I want to share why was it deemed necessary to introduce this global sulfur cap. Pure environmental and health reason. As you know, the shipping industry is one of the world's biggest sources of sulfur oxide pollution due to its use of 3.5% sulfur fuel. Some studies have estimated that 50,000 premature deaths a year are related to sulfur emissions, with the incidence of respiratory problems being particularly high in densely populated areas near ports. So what is IMO 2020? From the 1st of January 2020, in accordance with MARPOL Annex VI, the sulfur content of fuel used on board commercial ships trading outside sulfur emission control areas must not exceed 0.5% mass by mass. An exception is made to this for vessels that are fitted with a mechanism which is compliant with Regulation 4 of MARPOL Annex VI, such as LNG or the fitting of an exhaust gas cleaning system enforced globally by port state control authorities, whose task will be assisted by the prohibition carries of compliant fuels. This ban on the carries of fuels is expected to come into force during 2020. Due to this prohibition, the carries of any fuels with a sulfur content larger than 0.5% mass by mass may result in a penalty or detention. So, how can ships comply this regulation? Number 1, use a compliant fuel with a sulfur content that does not exceed 0.5%. Number 2, if exceeding 0.5%, use an equivalent, that is exhaust gas cleaning system scrubber. Disadvantage is also over there because a small vessel cannot fit this scrubber on their vessel. So maybe you have asked this video, this scrubber unit failed and engine room flooded with the water. And number 3, use an alternative fuel, that is LNG, methanol. 4, use onshore power supply when at berth. Now, if your vessel still using high sulfur fuel oil and need to replace this high sulfur fuel oil to low sulfur fuel oil, either you have to clean tanks first, or if it is small quantity, you can use some chemicals. Also, low sulfur fuel oil be like milk. When you take bunker, that time it will absolutely fine, but after 1 or 2 days it will be separated like milk or yogurt. Nobody actually know the real situations and consequences about low sulfur. Once it is settled in industry, then you can stop using chemicals. Implementation planning guidance includes risk assessment and mitigation plan, impact of new fuels, fuel oil system modifications and tank cleaning if needed, fuel oil capacity and segregation capability of compliant fuel oil changeover plan, conventional residual to 0.5% sulfur compliant fuel oil and reporting. This part is very important on board ship, as when the PSC and vetting inspector will come on board, he will check the documents only. You need to properly file up your actions, last bunker report, changeover from high sulfur fuel oil to low sulfur fuel oil, all these things. And about reporting, suppose your next port is Singapore, so when you send your EPAN to Singapore MCA, you must fill up that vessel using low sulfur fuel oil. If you put vessel using high sulfur fuel oil, PSC will definitely come on board to inspect, cause one day around 500 ships come to Singapore port. They cannot inspect all the vessels, they only visit some selected vessels. Even if coming to Singapore time, vessel having high sulfur fuel oil, departure time it must be empty, otherwise you have to discharge as slop. What controls will there be once the new global limit takes effect? Ships taking on fuel oil for use on board must obtain a bunker delivery note which states the sulfur content of the fuel oil supplied. Samples may be taken for verification. So talking about fuel oil, fuel oil comes from crude oil. Once it dilute in temperature, it become benzene, diesel oil, jet oil, etc. After all these, the sheets become the fuel oil. Two types of crude oil, like sweet crude oil and sour crude oil. So this low sulfur fuel oil comes from sweet crude oil and the high sulfur fuel oil comes from sour crude oil. So to produce low sulfur fuel oil, refineries also have to use chemicals, so that definitely the oil price will be high. It will definitely put impact on oil industry and global economy. So for your exam purposes, all you need to know what is IMO 2020 or IMO sulfur cap 2020, the date entry into force, advantage, disadvantage or consequences of low sulfur fuel oil, what action should be taken on board, what files, documentation and reporting has to be done. Well, question may arise, are there any exceptions for this regulation? So answer is, if a ship simply cannot obtain compliant fuel oil, they can complete a fuel oil non-availability report, that is FONAR report. This can be taken into account by port state control, but it is not an exemption. So this IMO 2020 will reduce this air pollution and health hazard. This will reduce the premature death, significant reduction in shipping's negative effect on human health through air pollution, reduction in stroke, asthma, cardiovascular disease, lung cancer, pulmonary disease, and also cutting sulfur emissions helps prevent acid rain, which means less harm to crops, forest and aquatic species, tackling ocean acidification. So thank you guys, that's all for today. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section below. Also, I already given all the important links